This is to certify that Movie Chats has been classified for live streaming.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for joining us on another week of Movie Chat. I'm smirking because little Steve joined us literally as the intro was just finishing there. Stevie, how has your week been, my friend?
It's not been too bad, mate. It's not been too bad. Gone a bit quick considering I'm on my holidays, so you know.
It has gone very quick. Did you have a good birthday?
Yes, mate, I did. Thanks. It was nice just to chill out for a bit and do the housework. You know, the usual. How about you? How's your week been?
Busy with work. Very busy to the point where I've decided I'm booking a holiday tomorrow just to have a brain refresh.
So you're having tomorrow off?
I'm having tomorrow off, yes.
Having a nice long weekend, are we?
Yes, that's the one. So, for the first time in the decade I've been with Lana, she can make me my coffee in the morning instead of me making her one. There we go.
I see.
Good luck with that. Now for the universe to manifest it, and it will happen.
Good luck with that one.
So what did you get then, Steve? Are we doing pickups of the week so you can show us your birthday gifts?
Well, to be honest with you, one of my birthday gifts is a big fucking diorama thing of Wanda from in WandaVision, but I've got it in the bed. I've got it in the bedroom. So that's I think Lou would order me some stuff.
Else support Elizabeth Olsen, no, is there really?
Well, this is it. She has to be in there. So I've spent all day putting shelves up just so I could free my pops up to put her in the right place. So
you've got your diorama in your room. You've now got your lightsabers in your room, and
no, my lightsabers here. I've got my pops.
Funko Pops.
I've got a wall of Funko Pops now
in your bedroom.
Yeah. I don't know if you've figured out, but I'm running out of space.
Yeah, we need to convert that loft or finish converting that loft, don't we?
Well, this is it. But she's okay with them being on my side at the minute, but it's not the ideal solution. It's just there while we sort stuff out, and obviously find out if this needs to be underpinned or what. So, but yeah, it's. But I think Lou got me some bits from Gary, but they never turned up because Every, I think, lost them. So she got me Harley Quinn, she's up there, and then I've got this big diorama thing from that that shop I took pictures of and shown you in town. Yeah. So it looks pretty wicked, to be fair. I just want the Doctor Strange now to go with it. And then I might even dare to take them out of the boxes.
Well,
I know. But other than that, I got a couple of pickups this week. I've got I managed to pick up a box set of Frasier today. I think that probably cost. In fact, that was probably free on what we bought. We bought a few bits from one of the shops in town, and I paid a tenner for a lot of it, and then I traded in one of the DVDs that came with it for £6. So it didn't work out too bad. And then I picked up I couldn't leave this in CEX. This came in. So steelbook, nice little steelbook. What else did I get this week? Probably one of the worst Marvel movies we've ever witnessed.
Ms. Marvel.
You know the card situation.
Yeah.
This is very much a similar situation. I didn't pay the same amount, but I'll show you.
Ladies and gentlemen, have you seen the disapproval in my face?
Right. Well, so let me show you. But this,
Right.
yeah.
So we're obviously talking about the Marvels.
Nope. No, we're not.
No? Captain Marvel. Oh, you bellend.
Hang on, I've dinner.
What did you buy that for?
So, I was. So this is the edition of it. It comes with badges. It comes with art cards. It's a
Sorry. That deserves.
I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
That deserves one of them.
Look, it glows up, mate. It glows. What can I do? I literally sat. I stood there in CEX going. She was like, "Yeah, we opened it brand new." I'm like, "Yeah, I bet you did." But as I say, it's a 4K steelbook. It's come with with everything in it and everything. It's got like a nice little box set thing of stuff. But it lit up, and I was like, "Hey guys." So yeah,
Right. Let Baz is here. So Transformers 1 trailer. I was going to speak about this later on, Baz, but if you can't stick around, let's talk about it now. Now, for those of you that have watched us for a while, you know I have been dying for a Cybertron Transformers movie, right?
right.
And then I have watched that trailer today and I saw it drop and I was all excited. And then it's Transformers Earthspark mixed with Rescue Bots. It is a kids' film, right? And
Right.
it's set around bloody Orion Pax and D16, who's Megatron before Megatron become Megatron. They've redone the whole origin story of this, and it's pretty much a reach around and handshakes movie, right?
Reach around.
Yeah. Prime's reaching around and giving him one of them, and bloody lubricant comes flying out. It looks awful. It looks awful. Now, Baz might enjoy that because, well, I mean, the film, not a reach around, Baz. That's a different topic of conversation. But, it's just not what I expected. And it's been kept such a well-kept secret about what's going on with this film. And it's, I don't know, still canon. More content is better than no. Yes, it is, and it isn't. But give us that, give us the extended episode from G1, where he goes back to being, where he goes back and you figure out about Orion Pax and make Megatron the gladiator that he was and burst into the war. And I know what they've done, right? They've made it so when they do fall out in later years, it's going to have such a big impact on newer audience that are coming into Transformers on the back of this film. So I understand what they've done, but to me, I think they just missed the mark there a little bit, especially for Transformers fan. Well, this Transformers fan anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah. Monkey's in. Good evening, Monkey. Good evening, Pat. Thank you for joining us as always. Monkey's asked you a question, Steve, based on your Fraser's box set there. Fraser, who was your favourite character? This is Bulldog. Now, I'm not really a big Fraser lover. I quite like Miles. I think he was quite funny.
I mean, the thing is that I've only seen a few episodes of it, but I watched Cheers growing up. But when I had a check, I mean, I think this box set in CX is about 22 quid, something like that. So, I mean, I got a few more DVDs. We got a big sign that Lou wanted to buy. Got a couple of other bits from this place. So, I mean, the guy did us a really good deal, but with me trading in that £6, and I put £6 towards Roger Rabbit when that was a tenner, so that cost me £4. You know, it's probably cost me a couple of quid if that. So there's no way I was leaving it. Plus, like I say, it'll go with the Cheers one that I've got up there. So I'm looking forward to sort of at some point in my life getting round to watching them, because I did watch a few of them when I was younger, but it wasn't really on my radar as much.
Well, it's been something that's on my radar. Do you know when we go on holiday, you've got nothing else to watch, and then you can only watch like Channel 4 or terrestrial TV or Frasier's always on, and so is King of Queens, and Everyone Loves Raymond.
Yeah, I like King of Queens. Yeah,
you just end up spending all morning watching that type of series. Good evening, sir. How are you?
Welcome.
How we doing? I'm in work, so I have been listening.
Oh, bless you. How you doing, buddy? How are you?
I'm all right. I'm going to go in another room. Oh, shit, by the fucking light. Right. We're going to the corridor a bit of lights. Well, working in a busy restaurant is what it does it.
Oh, yeah, I can see it looks well busy.
Yeah. This should be better. Hello.
There we go.
Hello.
So how's fatherhood treating you then, Bob?
Yes, it's all right. It's just the sleep issue. I'm trying to fit in. I'll fit in a few films this week. I watched Alien in 4K.
All right.
Alien, sorry.
Is it
Alien?
I thought it was terrible.
Really?
Because it's so good. And what I mean by that, if you imagine playing Silent Hill and they take all the fog out of Silent Hill, it's not the Aliens I remember, because where it was all foggy and all damp, where they've made it so fresh and so new, it takes all that away. So it's not the same Aliens.
They've lost all the atmosphere effect of the
I know what you
space
mean,
opera.
yeah.
Yeah. So for me, that was a bit of a, you obviously still got to own it, because you got all the others, but it didn't feel like the film I remembered.
No. I
But Big Steve, have you seen the Transformers 1 trailer?
I've just been talking about that. I was going to talk about it a bit more in depth before, but it's completely missed the mark for me. It's completely missed what I wanted out of the film.
But then it is a trailer. It's 3 minutes. 3 minutes of a potential 2-hour film.
No, but it was all to be going back to Cybertron before the war and stuff like that, right? And I know Prime and Megatron are friendship when they were Orion Pack and everything. But for me, it was more Transformers Earth Victor's Rescue Box than it is Transformers G1 thing. And I know what they've done. They're building on this friendship. So when they do fall out of the war later on, it's going to be impact. I just don't want 2 hours of them finding they get transformation costs in this film. And I don't want it to be 2 hours of them going, oh, look at me now, I've got powers, I can do this, I can do that. Oh, and by the way, I no longer like you, and let's move into the war. I just don't want that.
The thing is, where'd you go with a franchise at this point? You could say the same with Ninja Turtles. They've done so much. They're going to do live action and computer generated at the same time. So you will still get your live action Transformers film, but they'll do an animated one at the same time. So you can't keep doing Bay films.
No, but the animated film for me will be where you start the war. It'll be dark, it'll be your gritty, it'll be, here we go, right? You see the whole Alpha Fly-off, you see Prime becoming, the beginnings of Optimus Prime being into the war, and how the factions broke up. I don't think we're going to get that in this one. This has been, you see in the trailer the Bumblebee. Yeah? And it's all of a sudden he's already making a joke in the trailer about his name and everything like that. Bumblebee was never that type of character, and
My speakers are funny.
it's just going to be one of them for me where I think let's see where it goes, but I'm not holding hopes up for it.
We're teasing Quintessa, aren't we? So it's like there's, I don't know, changing Prime's voice as well.
You see the Quintus song as he's grabbing older from Ryan Pax. You see that, and the Quintus on wall and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. To me, I think they just missed the mark. Just that little bit, they've made it too kiddish and too comical for me. And it's not the Transformers I'm wanting.
But it's the Transformers you deserve.
The fuck you know better. Oh, we've lost Rob.
Well, it was bound to happen at some point.
Let's chuck him out while he's refreshing. Yeah. So other than that, that's that. Anyway, let's move on while we're waiting for Rob to come on. So here we go. Now, this week's homework movie was a little, I think, underappreciated sci-fi sort of horror adventure in Pandorum, featuring is it Ben Foster, Dennis Quaid as the two main actors.
Dennis Quaid's definitely in it.
Yes. Now they go off and it starts off at the beginning and in 1996 the world's doing this, and then in 2000 and whatever the world's doing this, and then it jumps to like 100 years into a future where they send 50,000 people off to a new planet to colonize that planet with and stuff like that. And then you get the darkness on the ship all of a sudden. And it's sort of like a passenger sort of awakening, isn't it, Steve? Where he wakes up and he's by himself at first and he's trying to, figure out who he is and stuff like that. So that's the comparison I was going to make to the start of the film. It's like the Passengers with Christopher, what's his face?
Oh,
the one from Jurassic Park.
Is he bloody called?
Chris.
Yes, that's it.
Right.
What's he bloody called?
Star-Lord. Anyway, different.
Star-Lord. You would just call him Star-Lord.
Yeah.
Hey, Luke.
So he then comes up and finds another person who comes out of the pod, and then we realise that there's something seriously going wrong with the ship, and they've got to go and fix the ship. And then from there, things just take a really bad turn from the worst. So, Steve, I'm going to ask you the question, did you watch it? Because I know you were struggling to find a copy last week.
No, I haven't been able to find the fucker. Chris Pratt, that's the one. No, I have literally I'm not under exaggerating or over exaggerating when I say I've been in 4 or 5 different charity shops back rooms for about 4 days straight trying to get this bloody movie.
Well, why don't you just message me and I'll send you the link to how I watch it?
Because I wanted to own a copy of it so that I bloody could watch it. I've had to literally buy that one from the other week to watch. Yeah. From CEX, which I paid more for postage than I did for the DVD. I'll get your dad to try.
Anyway, so you've not seen it then?
No, sorry guys, I've missed it. I am going to watch it, but I've not been able to track it down. And the thing is it's one of those movies that you see. I've seen it loads of times. The front cover, I've seen it in so many charity shops, but it's always looked like a bit of a B movie. Like, I've never really sort of thought about, oh yeah, I fancy watching that, even though there's Dennis Quaid in it. But I've watched the trailers, and you know, it doesn't look too bad, to be fair.
It is a sci-fi horror B movie esque. It's no Event Horizon. It's no Alien.
Right,
It's
yeah.
it's none of them. But it's a great. It's a good little watch. I'm not going to use the word great. I was just about to say great.
Yeah.
It is a good little watch, and it's worth a watch as well.
Yeah.
Like you say, it's got a good few little twists in there as well, and a few little surprises.
So did you enjoy it then?
Yes, yeah. It's
So
like Dead Space, the game. That's a good analogy. Dead Space mixed with the Tyranids from Warhammer.
Yeah.
That's a good analogy there, Rob. I like that one. So it's only an hour and a half, close to 2 hours worth of film. You're typical. We've got to fix the ship to figure out what's going on. But then, like I say, there's a few twists and turns along the way. That's all I'm going to say about it, Steve, because you've not seen it.
Yeah, I want to watch it. So
and you've not seen it before, have you? So it's not like you can go back and remember. No.
I want to watch it.
Okay. So that's homework then done. That was a quick chat. Thanks, Steve, for having 2 weeks off and not watching the homework.
I've tried, guys. Honestly, I tried. We seem to have movies that I just don't get hold of. I bet I've got it in the loft.
Yeah, but you never looked.
I didn't check the loft. No, I checked every charity shop in town. Yeah.
Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, please, we're running short on homework movies on the wheel. So, if you've got any recommendations, please put them in the chat now, or have a think about it when the stream goes onto YouTube later on. Then please put your comments on there once we finish, and then I'll pick it up from there. We'll run the homework movie towards the end of the stream.
Yeah.
And then we can decide what we're going to watch from there. So it just gives you a chance to have a think now and put it in the chat. In the meantime, let's jump into movies. So there's been a lot of conversation this week around the live action version of How to Train Your Dragon. So they're starting to cast that. They're getting the stories about it. The voice actors from the animated film are providing insights of how the live action cast members should play the roles. I don't know, Steve. Do we need the live action How to Train Your Dragon? Because I don't think we need.
No, I'm just thinking. Is it? It's going to be like a cross between Avatar and what's that one with the flying dog?
The Never-Ending Story.
Yeah, I can see it being a cross between those two. It's I mean, it is one of those that series of movies. They are at least the first couple are enjoyable. You know, it's not the worst idea in the world, but you know, I just wish you'd come up with something bloody new.
Yeah, I would highlight Luke's comment, but it's not happening. And any more of that, mate, you'll find yourself banned from the channel.
He's only messing, Luke. Don't worry. He loves it. He loves it, really.
Hey, I tell you what, talking about The Greatest Showman, we had guests staying at the weekend, and not one copy of the film ended up in my room.
That's the wrong guess, though, wasn't it? Do you know what I mean?
So yeah, I'm not going back to movie news. I am not sure I'm feeling a live action How to Train Your Dragon. I don't think we needed the 3 or 4 sequels or series that came on the back of it. I understand why they did it because it's a great money maker for kids, etc. But a live action version of How to Train Your Dragon not interested me in the slightest.
Yeah.
We did watch. Actually, we'll come back to that later on because something just popped into my head there. Right. The last Airbender is had the Avatar Last Airbender is had a really good series on Netflix. It's had a couple of TV shows and spin-off series on the back of that, a couple of animated movies. Now they've pushed the new animated movie back. It was originally due to be released in October 2025. It's been pushed back to January 2026 now. Paramount are having a reshuffle of their movies and their release schedule. So there's been no official reason for the delay. The only thing I can think of is that there's things like Tron Ares and stuff like that that are getting released at the end of next year. So are you looking at this in the same way I am, where studios are now going back to the times where they're looking at what other releases are coming out and trying to maximize cinematic release and theatre?
I mean, the thing is that someone must be talking to someone, because those things don't happen overnight. They're not filming movies at the same time, like coincidentally, and have. Do you know what I mean? It's like when we got every movie was a pirate movie, or it was, you know, some sort like the Roman Empire stuff, and there's got to be someone talking somewhere to say that these are bringing something out. We need to sort of rival it. It just seems bizarre that we're in this position where, like, it's not random, is it? It's not like,
No.
oh, I didn't know you were doing that movie either.
But The Last Airbender and something like Tron is two different genres altogether.
Yeah.
You know, you've got your sci-fi and you've got your adventure. But we were talking the other week, would cinema survive if the big studios weren't releasing stuff and taking a break for a bit and then bringing in some stuff like that? And I am starting to looking at that and some of the other news that's been out this week as well that we won't touch on. Is the studios must be talking to each other or must have the release dates published, and people are moving stuff around the big releases for so-called films like the new Fast and the Furious, for example. So there's no clash with anything else that's coming out with that. That they're hoping to make money on. That can only be a good thing for cinema, you know, for to going back to the cinema on a regular basis. That way you've not got 3 weeks, 4 weeks of going 2-3 times a week and getting your summer of film. We'll get them spread out over the year.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but it's, I say, there's not much more to say on that, to be fair.
No. Speaking of films that I didn't want a sequel to, Luther, Fallen Sun.
As in the TV series?
As in the TV series Luther. Now, I loved the TV series. I thought the 4 seasons of it should have finished it, you know, when they finished the story, but they brought back that other series, didn't they? Then they brought this one on for Netflix, the Fallen Sun. Idris Elba has been out and he said there is going to be a sequel to Falling Sun. However, nothing has been confirmed yet in the way of dates for development. So they've obviously got a story there. Now, at the end of Fallen Sun, he gets taken away by the special service or whatever it is, don't they? And then he sort of becomes the unofficial James Bond of Netflix because he's obviously never going to be James Bond in the movies.
No.
Do you think we need the sequel for that, or do you think we need to drag Luther out anymore?
No, to be honest with you, I never really got into the series, so it's on my to watch list, but I never really got round to it. So the fact that they're bringing out a movie doesn't interest me at all, to be honest.
No, it's, to me, the character of Luther's done his bit now.
Yeah,
you know, that's all. Thank you, Rob. That's very kind of you, sir. Share the link, and I'll endeavour to join. That's that one. Oh, Rebel Moon. Okay, so Rebel Moon Part 2 is out tomorrow on Netflix. Now, Part 1 wasn't as good as I was hoping it was going to be. It didn't live up to the hype. I'm hoping Part 2 is better because the studio have come out and said Part 2 is better and it fixes a couple of the potholes in Part 1. It has been extended to a trilogy, so there will be a Part 3. However, get your head around this. It's a trilogy of movies, but there's 6 films.
Of what, sorry?
There's a trilogy of movies, but there's 6 films.
Right.
Right? For each movie, part of the saga, is 2 parts.
There's 6 films.
Yeah.
Then it's 6 films, isn't it?
Yeah. So each movie, so trilogy, film 1, 2, and 3, is split into 2 parts. So you're having 6 films.
That makes no sense.
It's like having Doom Part 1, Part 2 3 times over.
Unless there's a freaking intermission in between it, it doesn't make any freaking sense. It's
gonna be
6 movies.
Each film's going to be 2 parts. So you're going to watch the first 2 hours of Part 1. Then you're going to have to wait 3 months for Part 2 to come out. And then you'll wait 3 months for Part 1 of Film 2 to come out. And then wait another 3 months for Part 2 of Film 2 to come out. And they're going to stagger it that way.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought that would confuse you.
It's 6 movies. I don't give a shit. It's 6 fucking movies.
It's not a trilogy. It's a what?
6 movies is what it bloody is.
Yeah.
Is that some sort of tax dodge? Because they're only bringing out 3 movies.
Yeah. I wonder if Zack Snyder's only getting paid for 3 films instead of 6. They just happen to be 2.5 hours long each part.
Yeah. That doesn't make... That's bizarre, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Very much bizarre. I think Netflix are clutching at straws for blockbuster content that they're doing that. Unless they're not leaving anything on the cutting room floor.
Well, to be honest with you, if there's 6 movies that are only 3 movies, then I don't think there would be anything spare, would they?
No, well, that's what I'm saying, because they come under a lot of criticism for Part 1, didn't they? It didn't really make sense. It sort of jumped and skipped around a little bit. And it sort of felt rushed in the middle. So if they're going to do a Snyderverse version of Rebel Moon and give us 3 hours Part 1, Part 2, so it's 6 hours each part, 6 hours per film, you know, and then not leave anything out, you know, so that there's no like deleted scenes, there's nothing, we just get it, then I understand that. But making a trilogy of films, 2 parts each movie, so you've got 6 movies, that's the bit that I'm not too a favour of. Good evening, Rick. Thank you for joining us, sir. Long time no see.
The movie star that is Rick.
I am. It's not windy up here. It's just wet. It's raining.
It's a bit of both. To be fair, right, we've had probably 1.5 days of decent sun weather in the last week. It's been pissing it down. Hey, AJ's dad is in the chat.
Monkey, you're definitely going to have to come on the show with AJ, and we're going to do Jerry Springer, Jeremy Kyle DNA test type
You
show.
say he's not Jerry Springer.
Yeah. Well, he's in the US, isn't he? So I don't know who the equivalent to Jeremy Kyle is, apart from Jerry Springer.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Well, Jeremy Kyle was just a little bit less dramatic.
Yeah. Yeah. Joseph Quinn, who's from Stranger Things. Yeah, the what's his name now in Stranger Things? The one that played the guitar that died.
Hang on a second. Do you know what? I think I know I like to wind Chris. I know I like to wind Chris
we
up.
haven't mentioned that yet, Chris, and I'm going to mention that when we finish movie news. I was waiting for you. I was waiting for you to come on to join us in the chat, and then we can discuss it.
Right. Okay. I'll come back to that one then, because I'm thinking. You know what? I'm quite reserved, respectful, and then it comes on like that. Who does he think he is? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense now. If you guys have got some sort of inside joke.
Yeah. Well, it's not an inside joke. It's actually a film that we watched, but we'll discuss it in a bit. Yeah. So
Is that why he's staying over?
Well, Joseph Quinn is set to play Johnny Storm in the new Fantastic Four film.
Yeah.
He's come out and he's says he's worried about.
Hey, Charlene.
He's worried about playing Johnny Storm because he doesn't want to upset and disrespect the character that Chris Evans played.
Yeah.
Fantastic Four. Obviously, Chris Evans went on to play Captain America and a couple of other comic book characters after Johnny Storm.
Yeah.
There has been a couple of other Johnny Storms in other reboots of Fantastic Four since then. So, and I didn't think, although I enjoyed Chris Evans' role as Johnny Storm, do you think it was really that good for him to praise him and says he doesn't want to dishonor him? That's like somebody playing the Joker now and saying that they don't.
I mean, I'm not being funny, right? At the time, I enjoyed those movies. What just popped to my head then when we started talking about that then was like, have they aged well? Because I haven't watched him in a long time, so I need to sit down and watch him again. Because yes, there was a certain element of cheese in there, weren't there? And then you had bloody the woman with a wig kept changing. But like, I wouldn't say it was his standout performance. He's done a lot better performance in the years gone by.
Well, when it was Jessica Alba, wasn't it?
That's the one, Jessica Alba. Yeah,
she plays Sue Storm, and then obviously Ben Grimm. Ben Grimm was probably the best Thing, that version of Thing, or the closest version of Thing that we've got there. And it's better than what's his face from Creed when he played Johnny Storm.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
In the reboot of Fantastic Four, it was that great. I can't remember his bloody name. That's going to kill me now. But yeah, it's such high praise that he doesn't want to put a bad portrayal in the character. Now, do you reckon he's sort of hoping that he's going to get into the new sort of phase of superhero movies on the back of this? Because the Fantastic Four is one of them where they had all the promise of joining the MCU. Michael B. Jordan, thank you, Monkey.
Thank you, that's the one.
The Fantastic Four had all the premise of it, and obviously we had Mr. Fantastic in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, didn't we? We had him in there, and he didn't last very long after Wanda blew him up. So, yeah, I'm hoping it's good on the back of that sort of praise, or the script is good on the back of that. That that's the type of role he wants to try and portray. We've already talked about Transformers 1 trailer, so I won't go over that again. I am just disappointed in that trailer. It's not what I was expecting for. Josh Cooley, the director, took it in a different way than I thought he was going to take it. It's more of a kiddie type of friendship movie. I used to friends, reach arounds and handshakes, and that's what I'm
Reach
thinking.
rounds and handshakes.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. The last bit of movie news that I have got is that there is, obviously, with all the talk about sequels like Tron and stuff like that coming out, the cast of Interview with a Vampire seem to have talked themselves into a possible sequel of Interview with a Vampire.
Yeah, but I'm
Tom
not
Cruise,
being funny, but Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise were about in 20 at the time.
yeah, Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise, Christian Slater, Kirsten Dunst have all been talking about. They were shocked back then that we never got a sequel to Interview with a Vampire. And a couple of them have suggested out there this week that they'll be interested in reprising the roles from the original film 30 years down the line. Now, that'll be fine for those that play vampires that weren't killed in the first film.
I was going to say, aren't vampires supposed to not age?
Yeah,
So these are aging vampires.
yeah. Well, it can't be worse. We've got an aging android in Data. In every version of Data, Brett Spiner looks older. So, yeah, so they've managed to talk themselves into a possible sequel to Interviewing the Vampire.
I don't know how that would work, to be honest, unless it's CGI'd to the max.
Just superimpose Brad Pitt's face on him from Feldman and Louise.
Yeah, literally. Because I mean, that's the thing, though, isn't it? I mean, vampires, particularly, they're not supposed to age.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there you go.
Claudia is a vampire child. Well, that's the trick monkey, isn't it? How are they going to do that if she walks around on her knees constantly with some shoes in front?
Film it like The Hobbit or Lord of the Rings.
From a far distance.
Yeah. Yeah, she sat 3 miles in front of Brad Pitt. Yeah, I don't know. Good evening,
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know how they will get away with doing it.
Thank you for joining us, Pugwall. That's a new name to our chat. So thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you for joining the channel, and please feel free to comment in the chat. Yeah, aging vampire. Yeah, that'll be me. However, if I was a vampire, I still need knee operations because my knees are shot to shit, and it just means I'll have them like that for eternity.
You've just always wanted bionic legs.
That's it.
You've done this on purpose.
Bastard! My knees just popped on the basis of talking about it.
It's just reminded you your age is still with you.
Cut them off and give me the blades and let me run in the Olympics.
I'll tell Lana to not lock herself in the bathroom then.
Yeah. I don't have a shotgun, unfortunately. Fortunately, not unfortunately.
I threw a transformer at her.
Yeah, where's me Megatron?
Fucking hell.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know if they. I mean, obviously we've seen CGI work before with Tron and stuff like that. But I don't know. I don't know if how they would get away with it. To be fair, they can't explain that vampires of age.
Right. So, Mr. Hayden is hinted in the chat earlier on about a film that we watched when he was staying at ours at the weekend. Now, this is what we get for letting Lana and Belle pick the movie that we were watching. We watched Good Luck, Leo Grand. Right?
That sounds. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, it's on Netflix, right?
All right.
And pretty much it's Emma Thompson. Okay.
Yeah.
Her husband's died. She's led a bit of a poor sex life, and she's hired a younger man. Yes, here we go, Chris. She's hired a younger man so she can tick a few items off her bucket list that she never got to do with her husband.
Right.
So, oh God, right. Where do we start with this? How do I unpack this? No, it wasn't one of them. Well, it was maybe. So how do I unpack this, right? So she meets him in a hotel room. She starts explaining the story. They get talking to each other, and she's having second thoughts about sleeping with this younger man. So they end up going to bed together, and they get it out of the way. Then the second, and then it jumps into visit number 2. And because she's getting a bit more adventurous, she's got this list of like blowjobs and 69s, and I can't believe we're even saying this on the stream. We're going to get barred for this one.
So you guys sat there and watched this.
Right, so you don't see any of that. You see them start, and then obviously you don't see the act, right?
Do you not see them finish it now?
No. But you know, there's cheesy bits because obviously she's
What
still
sort of
answering the
cheese?
phone. She's still answering the phone to her daughter, and real life is kicking in, etc., etc. But then to get them back in the mood, there's all this cheesy bit about them dancing like they've never
You stop
danced
saying
before,
cheese.
and you know, stuff like that, and taking his shirt off, and she's rubbing his chest and all. I've never seen 50 Shades of Grey, so I could just imagine this is a poor man's 50 Shades of Grey, right?
Right. Okay.
So, yeah. Anyway, you've got to watch it to understand what we're talking about. So at the end of the film, right, it starts getting a bit more risque. You know, they're sleeping together. Do you know?
You're struggling here, aren't you?
I am struggling here. Do you know the comment I made about Selma Hayek and Penelope Cruz giving us the full frontal in
Yeah.
Banditos or whatever it was called? That would
Yeah.
instantly improve the film.
Right.
A full frontal of a 62-year-old Emma Thompson did nothing for this movie. Seriously, right? Seriously. Full frontal of, yeah, people are watching to watch it. Chris, we're going to put it as the homework wheel, so little Steve on the homework wheel, so little Steve's going to watch it.
Nah, you're all right. It sounds like you guys had a really fantastic night.
No, so it starts getting a bit more risque as the film goes on, you know. So
There's more.
So you start seeing stuff as it's happening. Then you know you get the sex scenes that the film is leading up to and suggesting they've only been sleeping together and whatever else. And then at the end, when he leaves, she stood in front of the mirror, and then she's got a dressing gown on. And then Chris looks over at me and he says, "Please don't, please don't." And then she does. She drops the dressing gown, doesn't she, as she's stood in front of the mirror, and you see everything, right? And it's just like, oh God! To the point where I think Chris said, "Is do you reckon that's a body double?" Yeah. So this is what we get, you see, for letting Belle and Lana pick the movie.
Yeah, but you didn't answer the question. Did you think he was a body double?
No, it wasn't. Well, I went upstairs and started researching the film because, you know, obviously we're talking to you about it tonight. So the film was filmed during lockdown. Okay, so it was filmed in March and April of 2021. They were all in the bubble in the hotel, so they've hired the full hotel out. So there was the 2 cast members, 4 members of the crew, and the director. It's filmed in a hotel room, so they've not really had much of a set in a sense, and they were in a bubble. So that's what they were doing there. And then obviously it is Emma Thompson that you see at the end of the film. It's not CGI. They haven't airbrushed her in any shape or form or anything like that. Now, unfortunately, we never got to see a young Emma Thompson do that. So You know, we're getting to see the 62-year-old Emma Thompson, or 64, or whatever she is. Yeah, so I retract my statement made last week that full-on frontal views doesn't necessarily improve every movie that you watch.
Right.
Is where I'm heading with that. Yeah. There you go. Little Steve's going to go and watch it now. Fast forward to that bit of the film.
I just think it's. I mean, it must have been a lovely night. That's all I can say. How did you top that one? Did you then put something else on after that, like a light-hearted comedy or something?
No.
Was you just was that enough for you after that?
That was it. Yeah, we went upstairs. Yeah. It was a strange way to end the night. You know, very strange way to end the night.
What was it called?
Good Luck Leo Grand, was it?
Okay, so is this like just come out, or did you just randomly find
It's on
something?
Netflix. So
Yeah.
Lana and Belle must have been scrolling through Netflix and then put that on.
And you didn't think to check a trailer or anything first?
Why would you check a trailer, Steve? I don't watch trailers for every film I watch. That's why I only get about.
This is the lesson that you would learn if you watched the trailer before you decided this seems like the good one for us.
Now, Chris has put, remember the naked lady scene in the bathroom from The Shining. Yeah, I'm struggling here now to get back on train of thought.
All you're thinking of is, what is it, Emma Thompson, aren't you?
Yeah.
If it makes you feel any better, she would have been, what, like 62, 63 at the time? Not the 65 she is now.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
Oh, right. Yeah, so... Oh, God, I've lost it now. What was I going to say? I don't know. Right. Anyway, let's move on, shall we? So that was granny porn. So yeah, you can.
That explains the comment then, yeah. That's fair enough.
That was the granny porn. So Steve, you've got two homeworks now. You've got to go and watch Pandorum. You've got to watch Good Luck Leo Grand. We'll talk about that next week in a bit more once you've watched it. Actually, you've got three films because we're going to pick the homework movie for this evening as well.
Yeah.
Let's move on to pickups. So I know you've already shown some of your pickups this week, Steve. Your Fraser box set and a few other bits. I'm assuming you have got more to show us because, to be honest, I've picked up a few Funko Pops. So let me go and get them.
It's all right, Steve. We'll wait.
I've got to get loads of Funko Pops. So I took Chris up to Starbase 55 this weekend.
Did he buy anything?
He did, yes. He did buy something. So I took a few bits up myself to trade in, including that big alien that you... What?
Let's timestamp that shit.
Well, do you know what the interesting bit would be when Belle gets to that stage? Is she going to do a full frontal nudity on Cookie and the Haydens? That might be the most viewed stream that he has. Especially if Davey Purrs is watching. So this one came in the post today.
Which one's that?
Amanda Holiday from Destiny.
Oh, okay. You're a big Destiny fan, so it means nothing to me, that.
I am a big Destiny fan, so I got Amanda Holiday. So as you can see, I've got quite a few Destiny pops there already.
Yeah.
That's a good little addition to my collection there. I also got the G.I. Joe Sergeant Slaughter.
Wow.
Instead of the WWE one, so we got the G.I. Joe.
Well, it's an interesting story about that, isn't it? Because they made him a character in G.I. Joe, and then in wrestling, they had him change his allegiance.
Yeah.
So they weren't very happy about it.
No. So I got that one. You know, I'm a big fan of Starship Troopers, right?
No way. No way. Was that in that place you went?
No. This was off Whatnot.
Oh, okay.
So this was from, I think it was Magpie.
Yeah.
So Ace. So I've got Johnny Rico in the Funko Soda.
Yeah.
And I've got Ace in the Funko Pop. Now these things go for a fortune, and I only spent about 15 quid, £7 on this one. I spent
No.
£7, and they go for an absolute fortune. So I was lucky that no one else was bidding.
That's really good.
When we went up to Starbase, I took a few bits into trading because that was the deal that I made with Lana when I bought the Gears of War Lancer. That I had to take some stuff in to make space. Now, it didn't make sense to me to take toys in to make space for something I'm going to mount on the wall.
Yeah.
You know, but I did anyway. I sorted that out. I got £100 worth of trading for it.
What did you take in?
A couple of like the alien figures. Do you know the aliens? There's the small alien figures that I had on here.
Okay.
I took some of them in. I took in some little NECA diorama things.
Yeah.
Nothing special, but he gave me 100 quid for them. So I ended up with a Roadblock, Beachhead G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
And I got another Skywalk.
You see, that sort of defeats your object, doesn't it? If you take stuff in there to trade, then all you're doing is bringing more home.
Yeah, but I've come home with less than what I've took in.
Well, fair enough.
So the argument is I've still made space. I just haven't made as much space as she wanted me to make.
Right, I see.
That's the thing for it. So this Skywalk, he now sits on the Skywalk shelf up there. So I've got my big Skywalk, then I've got him transformed as a plane. Then I've got that Skywalk. That's not including the G1 Skywalk down here, which is here. So there's the original Skywalk.
Yeah.
So, I'm getting as bad as you. I'm when it comes to the Seekers, I can't help it, but I've got to buy them. So when I see them, I can't help it.
I needed to free up another shelf for DVDs or for box sets and stuff. So I've slimmed my collection down a bit further. I say my collection. I've still got the stuff. It's just I've put stuff that like little trinket ones. I put them in boxes. I want to keep them, but I don't want to have everything on display. Plus, I had about 300 Dr. Evils that I had to put up. So
you did go Austin Powers crazy on that stream, though, Steve.
Yeah, but the thing is that if he'd have asked me the first fucking place, I would have bought them off him anyway. But there was a few of them I wanted, and then he wanted to bundle the other one up with that one. And I was like, right, okay, well, I've got two big Dr. Evils now. But now I've got the two bobblehead ones that I got off him. and then I've got all of those. So yeah, I've got 2 Austin Powers and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Dr. Evils. So yeah, I'm chuffed with them though. They're good. There's some good figures there, but
So-
go on.
So I'm offering, and I'm running this one in, one out policy when it comes to me Funko Pops. Now we're selling some of them on Vinted. Unfortunately, we've had a couple of people try and take the piss, say they were damaged when you've got there, etc., like that. So it's put Lana off selling at the moment. So Chris, I'll be in contact. I've got a couple that we may talk about off stream. But saying that, I introduced Mike to Whatnot, and Mike signed up, so I got Mike's free credit, and he got free credit, and he's gone ballistic with Funko Pop. So he sort of did a me, where he's bought like 50 of them on Friday night when we were drinking a bottle of Southern Comfort, and he was
50?
on the whiskey. He was going a bit mad. Do you know, because they were a pound each, he was just buying them for the sake because they were a pound each.
Oh right, okay.
And then obviously we found a couple of new Whatnot sellers on the who had some really good deals. We just went a bit nuts. So I've bought, and I was hoping they were going to come this week and they arrive for the show, but they haven't yet. I bought Hanji from Attack on Titan and Sasha Banks from Attack on Titan. So they're coming.
Sasha Banks, that's the wrestler.
It's still a character from Attack on Titan.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I've got Sasha on the way as well. So it should be an interesting trying to figure out where those extra 2 Attack on Titans are going to go. Because as you can see, don't you look at me when I'm saying that. She's just brought me through it, and she's just heard me saying I've bought more Attack on Titans. Because as you can see, my unit for me Attack on Titans is full now.
How many more Attack on Titans ones are available? Do you know?
There's probably about 40 more.
Sorry, 40 more?
Yeah, but the problem with them is, and this is where you have your issues with your Funkos, because they release the same characters in different poses and different uniforms.
Let's rewind a little bit. How many more different characters are there for you to pick up?
There's Queen Historia, there's Kenny, there's Reinhard, then there's the 7 Titans.
Okay, so there is a few.
Yeah, and then there's a couple of the ones from the end of the last series that
Right.
got released. So the ones that I'm not rushing to buy, in a sense, shall we say. So I'm looking for Reinhard and I'm looking for Queen Historia, and then I might jump in for the Titans, because I've got Ymir's Titan down here, but then there's also the Colossus Titan, the Armored Titan, Erin's Titan, the War Hammer Titan, and yeah, there's a couple of them. The Cart Titan, but they're big silly money. Now I was on Whatnot before, and I was offered the Colossal Titan Funko Pop.
Yeah.
He offered me it for 85 quid, and it's 120 pound pop.
Bloody hell! Did you say will you take 4 quid?
No, I said we'll talk about it when Lana's not sat next to me.
Fair enough. So yeah, there's yeah, mine's just an ever-growing collection. But the thing is that she likes them as well, so that's why she's not too fussed about them being in the bedroom for now. But I have put some shelves up today just to. I had 2 rows in front of each other, really. So I did a bit of making of some shelves with some wood that I had. So I'll put them up today. I've still got one more to go, which was the reason why I was dead on time, because I was trying to paint it so that it dried by the time I finished. But so there's one of the things I wanted to talk about was I watched a couple of things on Netflix this week. We've been watching I started off watching the Physical 100 second series, and then Lou decided, like to do the gentlemanly thing where you stop watching something and wait so that you can watch it together. No, she didn't do that. She carried on watching it. And I was up here putting the shelves up earlier on, and all I heard was her screaming at the telly because she wanted certain people to win and certain. But yeah,
that can't go out.
yeah. Well, so that's one thing. But the other thing we sat down and I think we watched it over a space of 2 days, was Baby Reindeer.
Not seeing Baby Reindeer.
Right, so Baby Reindeer at the minute is number one on Netflix's movies, series, docu-series, whatever, right? And basically a guy that works in a pub, he gives this woman a cup of tea for free. And that's how it all starts. But it's based on a true story, which is based on the guy who's the actor in it. It's based on his life. It's a true situation that happened with him. And this woman comes in and she's like, she's saying that she's a lawyer and that she knows all these famous people. She's like, I'm not going to tell you who, but then literally reels off like all of Parliament sort of thing and Prime Minister and everything. He stood there going, but she can't afford a cup of tea because she said she couldn't afford a drink. And it goes from there, but basically she takes a fascination with him. And it's this turmoil between like her stalking him and him sort of semi-enjoying the attention. But it's good, man. There's one of the episodes is like number 4 or something, is quite a difficult watch. It's a bit like watching Chernobyl, where you've got that one episode, you know what I mean? But it's pretty good, and the fact that he's basically had to reenact a lot of this, obviously himself, which is quite interesting. But it's definitely something to on your radar to sort of think about, because it's for anybody that fancies watching it. I think it's really good.
Have you watched that series on Netflix, Unlocked?
Yes, we've been watching Unlocked.
What do you think? Because I've watched it all.
We watched it all. Sorry, we watched it all. I was just clicking on because there's a couple of things that we've watched recently. But those were the two things I think we binged this week, which that Unlocked. Do you know what? There's a part of me, right? And it's a bit like work nowadays as well, in some cases. Like, there's a part of me that thinks they've done something wrong. They're in there for a reason. Like, they should be serving their sentence in a certain way.
Over here, then, what you're saying is that if you've done something wrong to serve your sentence, you should go and work for Curry's.
No, not at all. That's not what I'm saying. What I mean by that. No, I'm not talking about my work. And what I'm saying is that, like, society in general nowadays is obviously things have changed, haven't they? And there's certain things, you know. And what I'm saying is that, like, these people have. I mean, some of these people in there, like murderers and stuff, weren't they?
Yeah.
They weren't just like, I've done a bit of fraud or whatever. It was like there was quite serious stuff. You know, GBH and stuff like that. And like, I can see the benefits to it, but you had that situation where you had the OGs who just were quite enjoying this scenario. So for anybody that's not seen it,
the break.
It's an experiment. So basically, the clue is in the title, Unlocked. So it's about a prison that this certain unit is 23 and 1 in it.
Yeah.
So they get 1 hour a day exercise, otherwise they're locked in the cells 23 hours a day, which seems like quite an easy job for
the prison guard.
The prison guard.
You open them up, you give them the food, you lock them back up 15 minutes later. That's how it works.
Yeah. So what this guy proposes is that they unlock all the doors in the cells, unlock all the cells, and keep them unlocked. And the first night was interesting because people were excited about it, but it was like they were also dubious that somebody would come and get them. But then you had the OGs that were quite enjoying this, and then they threw in a couple of other incentives, didn't they? Should we say?
Yeah.
You know,
Giving
and
them phone calls and stuff like that.
and it was interesting because you had the sort of younger generation there that didn't like being told what to do. The old guard wanted to organise stuff because they still had to organise, like handing out the trays for meals and stuff like
you
that.
have to work as a community, didn't they? For the experiment to continue, they have to be a functional community. So you've got the older guys taking lead and trying to,
because nobody was doing anything otherwise, were they?
No. And it felt a shit, didn't it, when I want to say Rudy or Randy.
True story. Is it not True Story?
True story. That's the fella. Yeah, True Story. Yeah, when he took a back seat after getting accused of trying to run the place.
Yeah, because all of a sudden, straight away, the younger inmates were like, "Well, he's not telling us what to fucking do. Yeah. We're going to party up here, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do that." And and then you throw into the mix, once they do sort of try and work together on things, you've got newbies coming in. But this is like a party for them, innit? Because at the end of the day, they're walking in, and hang on a second, we don't have to go and stay in our cells all night.
So you wonder.
What I'm saying is that, well, going back to what I was originally saying is that, you know, it's very much like a lot of workplaces nowadays where you have to sort of consider what we can do to, you know, not support the colleagues, but to keep the colleagues happy. Because one of the things that I found out through a recruitment thing was that, you know, nowadays it's about trying to attract people in, whereas years ago you'd be applying for a job, but it's how can we make that more appealing to them now, and that's what I'm getting at.
Benefits.
It's very much like that prison situation is that there's still a part of me that says, you know what, what you're in there for is the most grievous, you know, crimes known to man, a lot of them, and you know, you're giving them, they basically got an open door policy in there, do what they want, which is essentially what the younglings tried to do for the first. I say younglings, but you know what I mean. Yeah, that's what they did for the first God knows how many episodes.
They pushed it, didn't they, until they realised, shit, we're going to lose this.
Yeah, and that was the thing.
You know, and it was interesting seeing some of the attitude changes as well, for especially that young lad that got into a fight with True Story over nothing, over watching TV or something.
Oh yeah, where was he doing like moo cows? He was doing some sort of thing, wasn't he?
At him when he was watching the TV.
Yeah.
But he was getting he had 3 life sentences plus 20 years on top, didn't he?
Yeah.
That's when he was the young lad was facing down, and he says, "I don't deserve to be in here. Look, you've done something seriously wrong to have 3 life sentences plus 20 years.
Yeah.
You've done something, and you're only 21, 22. So whatever you were doing, it was wrong." It was interesting seeing some of the attitude changes of some of them.
That I know, but the thing is, for me, is that particular situation was quite tragic, because at the end of the day, I mean, a lot of these young lads that were going in there, they got in with the wrong crowds, they did the wrong things, you know, and like to be facing that much jail time, like you've thrown it out, you've thrown your life away.
Yeah,
that was the sad part about it. Was some of those guys that were going in there, you know, you had the guys that, I mean, there was that guy that, you know, he hadn't connected with his son for ages, and that did have me tearing up a bit, that one.
Well, he didn't want his son coming into the prison, did he?
No, but then the baby mama, he hadn't had any
Yeah.
contact with either of them, had he?
No. So, but then the free phone calls and the additional visitations allowed that to happen.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
yeah, and that was a nice, sort of a nice story on that. But it was very interesting, and I think by the looks of it, it is the sort of thing that they'll roll out a bit more. I think they'll probably trial that.
Well, they said, didn't they, at the end, that you see him in another cell block saying,
Yeah.
I want to talk to you about something. And he was rolling
Is
it
that
out.
a series 2 then?
Yeah, they were rolling it out into another cell block. So cell block H, or
Yeah.
whatever it was, they've got it, and he was rolling that out into another one.
Yeah, yeah. I definitely think I was watching at the time, and I thought, you know what, that is literally they're going to do a sequel. There'll be another series of it.
Yeah. But it makes me laugh though. They've got an easy job anyway as prison guards because they were locked up 23 and 1. They've even got an easier job now because they're not actually in the cell block itself.
They only need one prison guard to watch them on camera every so often.
Now, yeah. But I tell you what, that OG didn't have to take a beating though for cheating at dominoes.
Mate, he was a prick though.
Yeah.
He's there talking to his missus on the phone. Like, yeah, don't even worry about it. Don't worry about it. And it's like, the guy absolutely got pummeled, didn't he? Like, what happened? Oh, I fell off my bed. Did you?
Yeah.
Multiple times.
Yeah.
But the thing, it's like I say, it's the complete opposite to what they had in it. 23 and 1 to like literally open all the time. But there was so many of them that were so skeptical that this was just their way of proving that it wouldn't work. So they've got a reason to keep them locked up, sort of thing. But none of them had any sort of room to complain at all. None of them, because they're all there. That every bit of that was something that they wouldn't normally get.
Yeah.
And they were, and to me, was that particular part of the prison though? Was that like an in between? Because when I was watching the end of it, it looked like a lot of these people got moved on.
It was a remand centre, wasn't it? So there was other people getting released from that had done a lot of time before they went into court.
Yeah.
So they've already had time served, or they were waiting for a place to come up in a prison
for sentencing.
For sentencing, yeah. So they've been sentenced, and then they were going to go to prison or whatever, or they've been sentenced and waiting for a cell to come up for it. So
yeah, that makes sense.
It's like a custody suite. They sort of wait until they go in. So I can understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to make them better inmates before they go to the big house. But at the end of the day, they're going to be 23 and 1 in the big house, aren't they? So they've been spoiled in the remand centre.
Yeah. But like I say, I mean, it's not been too bad this week with regards to we've watched a couple of good things on there. But I mean that both of them, both the ones I've spoke about, they're pretty much brand new releases. And then obviously physical 100 series 2.
That was cool. Have you seen it all now, though, Steve? Do you know who's what?
No, I haven't watched it all yet. Like I say, I'm further behind what she is. I think I got up to about the 3rd episode myself.
I tell you what, though, those first 2 episodes were brutal when they were playing the one-on-one games.
Yeah.
That treadmill episode, I don't think I would have got through.
What was it? Was it 7 minutes? Or was it 10 minutes, then 7 minutes, then 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Something like that, wasn't it? But obviously they didn't know it was going to be 3 rounds. So
no.
The first one, they're absolutely
that first round.
They're pegging it, aren't they?
And then they went, get back on. You're like, shit.
And then it was an accumulative of all of your rounds. But yeah, there was a couple of them on there that were they were heavy breathing by the second round, weren't they?
And
But you
then
saw them
and
playing
then the
two big
medicine ball.
actors.
Yeah, then the medicine ball
Yeah,
rounds.
Yeah.
They were brutal. Those one-on-one fight for the balls, you know, that yeah.
it's a very interesting show, but I think they are different challenges this time round, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, they couldn't
Because I
use
don't
the
remember
same
half of
challenges
them
as
from
last
first
time
episode.
because I would have been heavy breathing before I started. Yeah, Max, I look at it. I look at some of them and I go, Jesus Christ! But the size of some of those lads and how quick they move,
Yeah,
you know, that's the. But Lana said to me, don't forget, most of them are probably about 5'6". You know, they might look huge on telly, but then, you know, with them being Korean and whatever else, they're probably not the tallest of people.
that's one way of looking at it, I suppose. You
Yeah.
know, sizist.
Yeah, Thanos isn't 6'6" and built like a shithouse like he's being
Mate,
portrayed.
but
He's probably
the guy that's
5'9".
picked the guy that's picked him for his team he must be
Yeah.
about 3 foot. But yeah, there's some good stuff on there in the minute. To be fair, I'd like to see another series of a few things drop and a couple more weeks of entertainment. But
Speaking of entertainment, what's your view on the Apprentice final tonight? Did the right people get to the final?
To be fair, I wasn't a massive fan of the top. Apart from the ex-musician, I wasn't really a fan of any of the top 5.
No.
Like, so, and let's be honest, the guy that's in the final is only in the final because the other one wouldn't give up 50% of his business. You know, but I don't know. It just I've not really sort of connected with any of these this year. They've all been a bit.
I can't believe Phil's in the final. You know, two episodes ago, he was being told he's riding his luck and he's going to get sacked if he loses, and then all of a sudden he's in the final.
But this is the point. So, I mean, when he's making these decisions in the boardroom, he must have it in the back of his mind which ones he's interested in. You know, if there is somebody in there that is absolute gold when it comes to him making money, two things are going to happen. They either end up winning it, or he goes, keep in touch.
Yeah.
Which basically means, give us a ring after the show, because I'm going to invest in you, and I'm going to make a shitload of money. That's the two things that generally happen with it. So, I mean, if he's... The other thing as well is that how much of his money is actually invested in this? Because there must be a certain amount that the TV station is paying.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't think he's putting that whole 250 grand in there. I think there's a certain element of it that's coming from the studio or us, whichever way you put it. But yeah, it seems to me like he's in it, but I think genuinely he's got the better business for him to invest in and grow. I'm not so sure about her, to be honest, because I mean, she's got a gym, hasn't she? I mean, bless him, that musician, God knows how he only got as far as...
It's a pay as you go gym as well, isn't it? It's not it's not a monthly subscription gym where you're making money. It's a pay as you go.
And that's the thing, is that you're not tied, because you did try and say that there was, but you're not tying people down. And this is the other thing, right? They've got, like, let's say that baker, right? This is a family-run business that's been in his family for generations, right? And the name is all over it. However, they're going to go into tonight's show and presumably come up with a completely different business name and a completely different
business plan.
And so it's like all he wants to do is expand what he's already got.
Yeah.
So, but I think genuinely, I think he's going to go with him. I can't see him putting money into gyms because there's gyms everywhere. Hey, Elaine, there's gyms everywhere. You know. Oh, what's that? That's just popped into me then. So that what's that? What's that from? Greetings and salutations.
Mm.
Oh, it's Blackadder, innit? It's Blackadder. The what one where in the future.
But I was laughing at the when they were going on about the business plans and
Yeah.
Buying company email addresses. But why have you not bought the domain names for these? Oh, well, no one else wants them. Well, what would it have been? Such and such.co.uk. Yeah, you can't have that now. I've bought that.
Yeah,
No.
and there was about 4 or 5 of them that he's bought,
Yeah.
hadn't he? I won't mind though. They were only like 15,
6 quid each or something silly.
It's like, no, you can't have that either because I bought that one.
I bought that one. Oh, and by the way, I've also bought this, this, and this, and this. Well, how much do you want for them? 31 quid. Okay.
But to be fair, that's not the first time he's done that, is it?
No.
I remember him in a previous series doing that. But yeah, he's. If I had to put money on it, I would say he's going to go for the baker, just because of the problem is the guy didn't know his figures, but there is money in there.
Mm.
Right, come on, mate, that's enough. It's just one of those where I don't think the two best ones are in the final, really.
I don't think there's been any strong candidates, but the other blonde girl who had who got to the final 5, I think she would have been better than the gym girl.
I think she genuinely you starting it?
Yeah.
I think she was genuinely surprised that she's genuinely surprised that she didn't get through.
Yeah.
Like she had this look on her face, like almost like that she should have done it.
Won it.
Yeah.
She thought she'd won it. We have a Turner's Pies and culture. Oh, right, okay. I'm going to have to come and visit you, Pete. I know we keep saying this, but we will have to set a reunion up. And
is it open by any chance, Peter? Is it open recently?
So you don't have to watch it tonight, you mean?
Is it open recently? Has there been a chain of them expanded really quickly? But the guy didn't know his figures, did he? And he got ripped apart for that. But I genuinely think he's probably, because they were saying, obviously, with the economy going up, the prices going up in things, he's not put his prices up.
Yeah.
Just give it a second, Elaine. If he comments again like that, then yeah.
Just he hasn't commented since, Steve. So
no, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I think So just leave it.
Yeah, just leave it. If he does anything else, then I will. But that's the thing for me, is that he's just. I was so surprised though how you had the ex-musician who didn't really have a business plan. He was sort of like, I just want to make nutritious stuff.
He was just going to wing it, wasn't he? I'm just going to.
Well, that's what he basically done, hasn't he?
I'm gonna come up with flavors. I'm gonna put it on TikTok. I'm gonna put it on Instagram, and I don't care how much money I make.
They've got 4 shops, have they, Peter? Right, I think I know what's going on here. but then you had the dentist who wanted to sell rags. Oh,
yeah, instead of going down fashion dentistry.
Yeah.
But he
Which
wasn't
they said at the time was lucrative money.
Yeah.
He would make a fortune off that. Then you have the blonde girl who genuinely thought she was going to win and was genuinely shocked when she didn't get through. And then those two. And it's like, none of them I'm sort of rooting for. I'm hoping he does all right because it's a family business that he's in. She's got, was it one gym she's got, or she's got one and she wants to open another one, doesn't she?
She's got one gym. She's got plans for 2 more in 2 locations. But when they were talking about the locations, though, they said, look, you've got 2 other gyms within 5 minutes walk of your 2 locations.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
and they're subscription gyms.
Yeah.
You know, so that must be like Fitness First or whatever. Peter saying the pies are amazing, by the way. Peter, if you ever come up by us, mate, we'll have to take you to Coward's Pies in Frodsham. They are the best pies in the northwest of England, mate.
Down here, it's all about the Melton Mulberry pork pies. They're fucking ginormous, them. I don't eat them myself, but they've had good reviews. But the yeah, I don't know. See, the gym stuff, it just doesn't. It's like if I was to look around here, I'd probably say there's maybe 5 gyms in a small area. You know, and they're all got variants, different. You know, good. I mean, one of them is at the swimming pool, so you've got the them sort of facilities there. You got one with a swimming pool in itself. Then you've got one that's 24 hours. That's that USP. You know, and then there's another one that's a bit cheaper, but so
in Ellesmere Port we've got 2 gyms. We've got the local council run one.
Yeah.
The swimming pool and all that lot. And
Yeah.
then we've got a proper meathead gym.
Yeah.
So I've tried the council one, so we're going to join the meathead gym when we come back off the cruise, and when I sort my knee out, we're going to go and join that one.
So are you currently subscribed to one then?
No. I've just been working out from home. I've got my kettlebells, my dumbbells, and my weight bags here, haven't I? So I've just been doing bits here. The hardest part about working out from home is remembering to do it. And if you have a couple of days where you haven't done it, it's getting back into it. That's the hard part about it. But if you were paying £40 a month, you had to get your ass up there in the first place, then you were going to do it.
If you like regular exercise, all you've got to do is polish them transformers behind you.
Hey, I took a toothbrush to a couple of them the other day because they looked dusty.
Did you? Fucking hell.
Yeah, just don't tell Lana I used their one. But yeah, so that's the issues with the gyms. You know, I do the odd little bit when we go trampolining and stuff. I use like the kettlebells and stuff like that while I'm there. But I think knowing that I need the operations on my knees is what's put me out of doing the exercise properly.
Yeah. Well, this is it. I mean, you're gonna have to forego the beach bod for this year, aren't you?
No, I'll keep the beach bod, but it'll be a beached whale bod.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
So we're going to do the wheel then. Let's do the wheel.
Shit, yeah. I forgot we said we were going to do that. So you've got a couple pieces of homework to do, Steve, haven't you? You've got to watch Good Luck Leo Grand.
I'll make sure that me and Lou get to watch that together. I'm sure she'll enjoy that.
Yeah. Then you've got to watch Pandorum.
Yeah.
And whatever this is coming up with tonight. Has it come up? Hang on. So I'm going to be in the arena of buying a new laptop soon because this one's just really slow.
Bloody hell.
Right. Are we ready?
Yep. Dark Skies.
Dark Skies. That's the Alien film, isn't it?
Is that the one with the front cover where it's like that?
That's the one, yeah.
Yeah.
You've probably got that. You've probably got that about 5 times over.
Yeah. No, I think I might have it. If not, I know exactly which one I'm looking for. Yeah, I know which one it is.
So there you go. Dark Skies is the homework, Steve.
Okie dokie.
So what have we got on the wheel now then? We've got I See You, Mean Girls, We Were Soldiers, The Untouchables, Straight Heads, Judgment Night, Flight of the Navigator, Star Wars, Eight-Legged Freaks, Hackers, Showdown in Little Tokyo, Sleepy Hollow, They Live, Now Voyage, Flawless, G.I. Jane, Striptease, and Demon Seed.
Yeah, that should be difficult to get out of that one. Oh gosh.
So we've got quite a few good movies there. But ladies and gents, again, I am going to put out the request there for you. When this video goes live to YouTube, I know we're live now, but when it gets uploaded to YouTube and we finish, please leave a comment on the video. A, it lets us know what you want us to watch. B, it also helps the YouTube algorithm sort of pushes out to people because we get traffic on the videos there. And we are stagnant around about the 540 subscriber mark. So we'd like to move up a little bit as well. So pushing our content out there to other people will give us that as well. Give us that momentum. So thank you for that. If you've got any topics of conversation or any special shows you want us to do in the future, then also please leave us a comment there. We'll have a look at it. And also, Little Steve's going to start doing some pre-records as well because he's culling his collection.
Yeah.
So you're going to start putting some content out, aren't you, little man?
I am, big man.
There we go. See? All it takes is a little bit of friendly persuasion. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching us, and we will see you around and see you next week. Bye-bye.